See here, uh, this is the intake port and this is the exhaust port and this is the transfer port. Okay, whenever the piston is going to, that means here the opening and closing of inlet port, exhaust port and transfer port will, that means it is going to depend upon the piston travel. That means if it is going to cover the exhaust valve, it will open the intake port. Sorry, exhaust port, it is going to uncover the intake port. Okay. So whenever there is opening, that means whenever the piston is going to move from bottom dead center to top dead center, there will be opening here in the intake port. So what happens during that, whatever the air fill mixture or air, depending upon the type of engine, that is going to be come into this crankcase. Okay, it is going to be accommodated through this crankcase. Okay, so whenever there is during, okay, during expansion stroke, what is going to happen, this transfer port, okay, whenever this transfer port is going to open, okay, so whenever during expansion stroke, the what is going to happen, this piston is going to travel from top dead center to bottom dead center. Whenever the piston is around here, the piston surface is going to be here, there will be some opening within the transfer port. So because of opening within the transfer port, what is going to happen? The air fuel mixture or air is going to get into this combustion chamber. Okay, so there is a chance of leaving the gases through this exhaust port. Okay, there is a chance. Why? Because there will be a deflector here, as like we seen here. There will be a deflector here, but he is not shown here. There should be a deflector if it is a two-stroke engine to deflect the gases to the top of the cylinder. Okay, otherwise they will directly will leave from the exhaust port before the combustion only. So combustion to happen, there will be a deflector which will deflect all the air fill mixture or air to the top of the cylinder. Okay, so during that expansion stroke only. Okay, so during this expansion stroke only, whatever the combustion products are there which try to move the piston downwards, okay, these will leave from the exhaust port. Okay, so there will be some mixture of air fuel mixture and exhaust gases, so there will be lot of impurities. Because of this also, the efficiency is going to be decreased. Okay, efficiency is going to be decreased here within the two-stroke engine, so we mostly prefer four-stroke engines only because of lot of disadvantages. Okay, so because of that, what is going to happen, this piston is going to first of all, this piston is going to travel from bottom dead center to top dead center. That means what is that stroke? Compression stroke. During the compression stroke, what is going to happen, this exhaust port is going to be closed and also transfer port it is going to close. Now where will be the piston now? At the time, at this time, the piston is going to be at the top dead center. So when the piston is at top dead center, the combustion is going to start. As we already know, if it is SI engine, a spark is going to be generated to ignite that fuel, and if it is CI engine, a fuel is going to be injected into the air. Okay, and the combustion is that means it will reach its self ignition temperature and there will be combustion. Okay, after combustion happens, what happens, these combustion gases will try to push the piston downwards, so that working is going to be done, or power is going to be produced. That power will help the piston to move downwards, which will rotate the crank. Okay, and finally this crank will give rotation to the crankshaft, and the crankshaft itself gives power to the gearbox. Okay, and gear transmission, all this going to be happen after that. Okay, so after pushing the piston downwards, what is going to happen, these exhaust gases, whatever the gases are there after combustion, these will leave from this exhaust port. Okay, that is the working principle of two stroke engine. Okay, during compression stroke, there will be opening it, that means the piston is going to move upwards, there will be opening in the intake port, and this is going to be air or air fill mixture are going to be accommodated here, and there is no direct transmission. There is no direct transmission. Why? Because either it may be the piston is going to cover either intake port or exhaust port. Definitely one of the ports is going to be closed, so there will be no exchange of gases. That means there will be no direct transmission of gases from here to here. So first of all, the gases will come into the intake port, and whenever there is opening, they will accommodate within the crankcase, and from crankcase they will travel to the transfer port, and whenever there is opening during the expansion stroke in the piston, that means whenever there is opening within the transfer port, this is going to allow the gases into the combustion chamber, sorry, air fuel mixture or air into the combustion chamber. And whenever there is combustion, the combustion products will try to push the piston downwards, and then what happens, there will be work produced, and which is going to be converted to the, that means reciprocating motion is converted to rotary motion to the crankshaft, and these exhaust gases will leave from the exhaust port. Okay, that is the main working principle within this two-stroke engine. Okay, next, coming to ideal PV diagram of a two-stroke engine, we have already discussed. There will be events. Okay, there will be no such a suction event here. Okay, during the time of compression only, that means this through this intake port, during the time of compression only, this air fuel or mixture or air is going to get into this crankcase. Okay, so there will be no separate stroke, only the it is going to start from the next event, which is compression event. Okay, this is the compression event from 1 to 2 or within the compression stroke. And what is 2 to 3? At a constant volume, since it is SI engine, at a constant volume it is going to combust. That means we are going to add heat in a two-stroke engine. Okay, and what is 3 to 4? During the process 3 to 4, the power is going to be done. Okay, so since the power is going to be done, what is going to happen? The piston is going to push the gases, expanded gases are going to push the piston downwards, so that what is going to happen to the cylinder volume? So cylinder volume is going to increase. So see here, cylinder volume from 3 to 4 is going to increase, and what happens to the pressure? If volume increases, pressure is going to reduce. See here, the pressure is going to reduce from P3 to P4. Okay, and what is process 3 to 5? Process 3 to 5 is nothing but exhaust event. Okay, during this event, what happens? Whatever the exhaust gases are there, whatever the combustion products are there, are going to leave the cylinder to the atmosphere. Okay, so this process 3 to 5 is why he is accommodated like that, instead of being here. Why? Because it is going to be done during the expansion stroke only. Okay, during the expansion stroke only, that means all the gases are going to leave to the atmosphere. So that's why this is the process 3 to 5 is here. Okay, nothing but exhaust event. Okay, so the fifth process is exhaust event, and this is going to be occur during the expansion stroke only. So that's why in a two-stroke indicator diagram, it is going to be in the middle of 3 to 4. That means during the expansion stroke only, all the gases are going to leave from it. Okay, from the cylinder. So it is exhaust event. Okay, and you know that 4 to 1, that means during at a constant volume. Okay, see here, V1 is equal to V4 here. So at a constant volume, what is going to happen? Okay, at a constant volume, the whatever the pressure and temperature are there, are going to attain its normal conditions. That means atmospheric conditions. Okay, whatever the air fuel mixture, because friction has to happen, and this within the cylinder there should be some atmospheric pressure and temperatures. So that's why the process 4 to 1, that means whatever the gases are there, okay, whatever the residual gases are there, all these leave from the exhaust port, and the fresh charge is going to accommodate here. Okay, so that's why the pressure and temperature has to attain the normal conditions or atmospheric conditions. So that's the process 4 to 1. Okay, that is the indicator diagram of a two-stroke SI engine. And for suppose if it is CI engine, what is the big change? Only here we are going to combust, or we are going to add heat at constant pressure. So 2 to 3 would be like this. Okay, as like in CI engine, we have already seen. See here, at a constant pressure, we are going to have combustion. That means heat addition. Okay, at constant pressure, we are going to have heat addition. So in that indicator diagram, we are going to have only the similar change like that. Okay, so here we are going to have uh, heat addition at the constant pressure. That means we are going to add fuel if it is a CI engine. Okay, and 3 to 4 or 3 to 5 process is same, and 41 is also same. Only the big difference is here 2 to 3 is going to be constant at a constant pressure in case of CI engine. Okay, so that you can draw the indicated diagram for a two-stroke CI engine also. Okay. That's all about two-stroke engines. And coming to applications of two-stroke engines, first we are going to have automobiles. Mostly we prefer in automobiles only, as Yamaha. This bike is also going to be run on two-stroke engine only, and this type of mountain bikes, like this type of bikes are also going to have two-stroke engines. Why? Because we need more power. Okay, so that's why we are going to prefer two-stroke engine in this mountain bikes. Okay, and also in Bajaj Chetak, we have used two-stroke engines only, and also in autos. Okay, mostly in autos also they use two-stroke engines only. And in a farm applications, whatever the engines they are going to use in a farm applications, mostly they prefer to have two-stroke engines. Why? Because they are of low cost. Okay, and also less size and compact, and also but it takes more fuel. Okay, there will be that advantage, but the fuel initial cost is going to be very less. So in farm applications they prefer two-stroke engines. Okay, and also this type of boats, lifeboats like that. Okay, this is one engine arrangement. Okay, two-stroke engine arrangement. All these were applications of two-stroke engines. Okay, I have already gone through this four-stroke engine. Next, coming to the differences between four-stroke engine and two-stroke engine. Okay, see here in four-stroke engine, the thermodynamic cycle is completed in 4 strokes of the piston and 2 revolutions of crankshaft. Okay, we already know that there will be 4 strokes in a four-stroke engine and 2 revolutions of crankshaft. Okay, in two-stroke engine, there will be only 2 strokes. Okay, 2 strokes of the piston and 1 revolution of the crankshaft. Okay, and there will be one power stroke in every 2 revolutions of crankshaft. See, since there are 4 strokes, okay, we are going to revolute. That means we are going to have 2 revolutions per crankshaft to get 1 power stroke. Okay, but in case of two-stroke engines, we need only 1 revolution of crankshaft. Okay, that is the advantage in the two-stroke engine. Here we are going to have uh, power stroke, 1 power stroke per 2 revolutions. But here in each revolution we are going to have power stroke. So that's why we are going to have more power here. Okay, more power within the two-stroke engine. Okay, and here for four-stroke engines, heavier flywheel due to non-uniform turning movement. Okay, here there will, whatever the combustion products are there, they are going to have move the crankshaft at a higher speeds. Okay, so we need heavier flywheel to store all the energy. Okay, we need the energy according to the speed of the engine. Okay, depending upon the speed of engine, we need to accumulate that. So that's why we need heavier flywheel. So there will be lot of fluctuations in the production of power. Okay, so that's why we need to store the energy, and this energy should be in uniform manner. Okay, we need to convert that in uniform manner. So that's why we have to arrange a flywheel. Okay, in case of four-stroke engine, these fluctuations are going to be very high. Okay, so that's why we need to have heavier flywheel, to arrange a heavier flywheel. And in two-stroke engines, since the engine is very less and very compact, the light flywheel is sufficient here. Okay, and here the power produced is less. Okay, of course it is less. It is not the disadvantage, but fuel consumption is very low. Okay, when compared to two-stroke engine, the fuel consumption is low. Okay, as I already discussed, there will be lot of fuel wastage in case of two-stroke engines because of that mixing and all those parameters. Okay, so that's why the power produced is less here. Okay, and here why power produced is less here? Since we need to have two crankshaft revolutions here. Okay, that's why for every 2 crankshaft revolutions we are going to get 1 power. So that's why we are going to have less power in case of four-stroke engine. In case of two-stroke engines, for every revolution we are going to have 1 power stroke. Okay, so that's why we are going to get more power. Okay, of course it is we need to have double power. Okay, so why? Because here within two revolutions we are going to get one power, and here during one revolution only we are going to get one power. So here to produce, in case of four stroke engine, we are going to produce one power stroke. We can produce here two power strokes in the same time. So we are going to have double power here. Okay, twice power we are going to get when compared to the four stroke engines. But because of several parameters are going to be disturbed during the strokes, okay, we are going to get only 30%. Okay, that means for suppose here we are going to have 100%, 50%. Here we can get only 70%. Other the 30% is going to be wastage. Okay, instead of 100%. If it is here 50%, we should get here 100%. But because of different fuel consumption parameters and all those disadvantages, we are going to get only the 70% of power here instead of 100%. 30% is going to be lost here. Okay, and coming to four stroke engine, it is heavy and bulky, and here it is light and compact. Okay, why it is heavy and bulky? Why? Because we need to provide a mechanism which is to operate the opening and closing of valves, inlet and exhaust valves. Oh, so okay, so that's why we need to provide. It is going to be heavy and bulky. Okay, so there is no such arrangement for the valves to open and close. There will be simple ports which will decide their opening and closing by the travel of piston. So that's why it is going to have light and compact design. Okay, and here we need lesser cooling and lubrication requirements. Why? Because here we are going to have four strokes, and it is going to take more time. Okay, and within because of that increased timing, we can provide lubrication in a lesser quantity. Okay, but here we need a greater cooling and lubrication requirements. Why? Because for every power stroke we are going to generate more heat and energy. So we need to provide greater cooling, and also the lubrication should be very effective, and it should be very heavy lubrication we need to provide. Why? Because for every revolution there will be power stroke. That means for every revolution we are going to there will be huge increase in pressure and temperature. Okay, so pressure and temperature in case of two stroke engines will increase very rapidly. Okay, so the engine life is also going to be less. Okay, why? Because the heat is going to affect the engine life also. So that's why we need to provide greater cooling and lubrication requirements, and here the lesser rate of wear and tear. Why? Because there will be effective cooling and lubrication, and here there will be higher rate of wear and tear. Why? Because the temperatures are going to increase enormously because of continuous power production. Okay, for every revolution there will be power. So that means the temperature and pressure are going to be very high, and enough high it is going to reach. So there will be higher rate of wear and tear in this. Okay, and here contains valves and valve mechanism, as I already said, and here there will be ports arrangement. Here in four stroke engines, it is initial cost is high. Here it is a low initial cost, and for volumetric efficiency is more due to greater time of induction, and here volumetric efficiency is less here. Okay, I will discuss about volumetric efficiency in coming classes. Okay, you need to just know that here it is greater and here it is less. Volumetric efficiency will consider several factors to decide volumetric efficiency, and I will take one whole class on volumetric efficiency, and in that you can understand why it is less, why it is more here, and why it is high here. Okay, next coming to thermal efficiency is high, and also part load efficiency is better, and here also thermal efficiency is low in case of two stroke engines when compared to four stroke engines, and part load efficiency is also lesser. Okay, it is used where efficiency is important, and two stroke engines are used where low cost, compactness and lightweights are important. Okay, if we need to prefer low cost and low efficiencies, we can go to two stroke engines, but if we need a high efficiency, and if we are able to bear high cost, then we should go for four stroke engines. Okay, and here example cars, buses, trucks, tractors, industrial engines, power generators, etc. in case of four stroke engines. And coming to two stroke engines, law movers, lawn mowers, scooters, motorcycles, mopeds, propulsion ship, all this will comes under the applications of propulsion ship. Okay. Next, coming to the six-stroke engines. Okay, we don't have this in syllabus, but I am going to tell you get get some knowledge on it on six-stroke engine. We already seen two-stroke engines, four-stroke engines, and now coming to six-stroke engines. Okay, in two-stroke engines, what are the main important strokes? Compression and the expansion or power stroke. Okay, and what are the four strokes in four stroke engine? Suction, compression, expansion and exhaust. Okay, so here also in six stroke engine, here also we are going to have those four strokes only. Okay, the main difference is we are going to add some uh, add two extra strokes. Okay, those are again second power stroke and second exhaust stroke. Okay, is it clear? It is going to have those four strokes only, but here the main difference is we are going to have within the same cylinder, we are within the same engine. Okay, within the same cylinder we are going to have six strokes. Okay, mainly four strokes, and we are going to have second power stroke, which is a fifth stroke, and we are going to have another exhaust stroke. That means second exhaust stroke, which is a sixth stroke. Okay, so what are these six strokes here? Suction, compression, expansion, exhaust, and again expansion or power stroke and exhaust stroke. Okay, nothing but repetition of last two strokes. Okay, so what are the advantages by adding these power strokes and exhaust strokes? Okay, see here, we need to get more power. Okay, nowadays we need to have more power to get high efficiencies and all those. Okay, to have more, to get more power means we need to have another power stroke. If we have another power stroke, alternatively we are going to have more power. So here some scientists or some engineers have came to confirmation that if we have another power stroke and exhaust stroke, we can improve the power output. Okay, so based on that idea, okay, they have improved two more strokes within the same engine, within the same cylinder only. They are going to incorporate other two strokes, which are power stroke and exhaust stroke, so that we can generate more power. Okay, and also all those disadvantages which are going to have in the two stroke engines also, we are going to eliminate those. Why? Because we are using separate valves for both the inlet and exhaust valves. Okay, okay, and a separate intake and outtake also will be there. So that's why we need, if we have another power stroke within the same engine, then we are going to get more power, and also we can eliminate all the disadvantages which are going to be held in the which are going to be have in the two stroke engines. Okay, so that's why we can improve power, and also we can take out all the disadvantages of two stroke engines by having that means here we are going to have three crank revolutions will be there. Okay, in two stroke engine there will be one crank revolution. Okay, and into four stroke engine there will be two crankshaft revolutions. Since here we are going to increase two more strokes, we should have another crank revolution. So finally, for every stroke, for every two strokes we are going to have one revolution. So six strokes means we are going to have three crank revolutions. Okay, here whatever the engine exhausted. Okay, first of all there will be suction, compression, expansion and exhaust. After exhaust there will be some gases leaving to the atmosphere. Okay, we know some of the gases are going to leave the atmosphere. Okay, and now what is going to happen? These exhaust gases, instead of going to the atmosphere, they will get into the next power stroke. Okay, I explained you after what is going to happen. After exhaust, the gases are going to leave to the atmosphere in case of four stroke engine. Okay, but here in case of six stroke engine, there will be a power stroke here. That power, whatever the gases during the exhaust stroke are going to again come into the power stroke now. So that means from fourth stroke to fifth stroke, so whatever the exhaust gases are there are going to do the work in the fifth stroke, that is power stroke, second power stroke. Okay, so that's why, that means we are going to reuse the gases. Okay, instead of leaving them to atmosphere, we are going to reuse them. Okay, to the fifth stroke, which is a second power stroke. Okay, so that is the main difference between that, and in six stroke also, what is six stroke? Nothing but exhaust stroke. In this exhaust stroke, we are going to leave the gases to the atmosphere. Okay, these are some engineers who are going to develop Crovos six-stroke engine, and this is Veloceta six-stroke engine. You can go through them and you can know whatever is there. Whatever I have explained till now, that will be that only will be there. Okay, so you can go through it. Veloceta six-stroke engine and the Prover six-stroke engine. The principle is same, working principle is same, which I explained now. Okay, you can go through it and you can understand easily. Okay. Uh, okay, rejoin the session in a few minutes. Till 2:55, I am open for discussion. Okay.